Hi, I'm John and welcome back to my Lair of Action Figures. Today I'm going to be reviewing another G.I. Joe classified figure, and this is going to be the number 154 in the G.I. Joe classified line, and this is going to be Blowtorch. So this figure also came out in 2025. It is suggests retail price of $24.99 in the US and €29.99 for us in Europe. Of course, this is a general release of the figure, so this is something that is always interesting to know about this figure. Of course, we have the figure that are already open, and of course the one on the side. So I'm just going to quickly show the drawing on the side. The information over there is not very interesting. What was very interesting was to see that we had a painting of the bridge layer. So a lot of people started speculating that we will maybe get a bridge layer. And it does not look like a ramen toy, so it's not one of the add-ons that they did, because it would be more in the middle. And of course we have a bunch of Cobra Troopers over here. Of course we do have our Blowtorch going around over here. And two pictures with the mask and with the mask off. So that's going to be for the packaging. Let's have a look at the history of this guy. So, going into the history, well, today we're going to be having a bit of a look, because while I was looking for this guy, of course, I already had prepared my Blowtorch from the 1984 line of figures, if I'm not mistaken, yes. And of course, while I was looking for him, because I thought he would be in the basement, I digged up also my Action Force version of the Trooper. So of course, growing up as a kid, I did have this one. It's very funny to see that he was from France, Toulouse, France. So that's something who's always a bit funny about it. If you want to go and check out, I have some pictures of these guys on Facebook, and I use it as a bit of an archive, so if you want to go and have a look at it. So we're going to push this one back, and we're going to be taking, of course, a closer look at our flamethrower over here. So yeah, the figure itself is a bit interesting. Of course, yellow and red like this does not really scream military, but he was a friend's favorite, and he was pretty cool as a figure when we were growing up. So of course, I'm going to let you pause if you want to have a quicker look at the file card. As you can see, this is of course a mix between, they still had the original line from 1983, then there's the 1984 figures on it. So this does put it as an original one from back in 1985. Now that we have talked a bit history about this figure, let's dive in and let's see what we get in this box. So, of course, we get the figure, we get his gas mask, we get his helmet, we get the backpack with the bottles of gas, we get the flamethrower part, we get the hose for it, and we do get also 3 little bits of effects for the flamethrower. So let's have a closer look at all these items. So we're going to start by the figure. Now, if you have watched my video, I was not a big fan of the markings, the black over here. And now that I have the figure in hand and I've been kind of messing around with it, I'm really appreciating these little touches. I think it was a little nice add-on compared to the original figure over here. So yeah, that was pretty cool. And I also forgot to mention that he had a pistol because he has it on. Of course, he has the little connection here. This can be removed. I'm not a big fan of removing these items over here due to the fact that they have a tendency of not clipping in very good. If you have Grunt, you will see where the problem lays with his little chest machine that he has over there with the information. So here we're having a closer look at the head sculpt of the guy. As you can see, it is pretty decent. He does have a pretty big head compared to the size of his body, who could be a bit problematic if you want to use him in army build with the 60th anniversary figures. This will definitely not go on a diver's suit, but it could work on the 2 other ones, like the regular trooper or the parachutist. You could add it on. And a little extra that didn't came out also was over here. We have the pistol. Also, I forgot to mention, I was looking for my 25th anniversary line figure. Sadly, I did not see it. So I'm going to be putting up, you will see an image who's going to be appearing on over here. So that one was taken from Yojo, so that's the one. I do not know where it's located, and that one came out in 2009. So continuing with the equipment, let's do the... So nothing really special over here. You have the connector for the hose over here. Of course, this is the same one that comes with Torch, if I'm not mistaken. So the reuse of parts, the hose, we have already seen it. This is nothing new over here either. So we can see it over here. The gas mask itself is pretty new. It does have a part of transparency so that you can see the eyes. The fact of having the pistol is pretty cool. I like the fact that they went onto the same green as the flamethrower itself. We have the helmet over here. So the helmet is pretty cool. It's these modern helmets that they have. Of course, there's no straps like the review that I did for Footloose, so it is basically the same helmet with the earphones and some extra light over here and the possibility to attach a night vision, but I don't think that's going to be really needed for a flamethrower guy. So of course we do have the flamethrower itself with the little extra gas. We have the little hook over here that will start, this is where the flame would be, and when you're going to press on the trigger here, it should ignite. So you have the possibility to put the little flame in over here to give it this kind of effect, like if it's on standby. As you can see, it's pretty, well, let's see, there we are, it's pretty neat and decent. And then afterwards you can go into the different effects that you want to give to the weapon. If you want to give it a more of a burst of flame, or if you want to go on to something that you might have seen in documentaries, especially about World War II, and of course when they are fighting in the Pacific, the Americans, you will see that the flame looks very similar to the ones that you have. It is pretty well detailed and neat, so yeah, I must say that I really like what they did with this figure, and yeah, really digging what they did with this figure. Now let's go on to the collectible value of this figure and what are my final thoughts and my note out of 10. So let's talk about the collectible part of view of this figure while I'm gearing him up, and afterwards I'm going to give him a little spin. So do I think this is a collectible item? Well, it is very hard to say if he is a collectible item or not, because the fact that a lot of people were not really enthusiastic about it. Yeah, that's something that a lot of people really didn't like about the figure, all the different colors. Now I hope that some people who did get him will find it more interesting. This may bring up the value. I haven't seen this figure go on clearance at Walmart or Amazon, so this is pretty good news for a figure in this kind of way. So yeah, I do think that there's a possibility to give it a certain collectible value. Of course, for the people who are purists, who will prefer to have it all painted in two different colors, you will have to wait for the retro line figure, and by the looks of it, you're going to be mostly getting exactly the same figure over here than the one you would get as a regular classified figures. But yeah, I do think that it does have a slight value on the collectible part of the figure. So yeah, if you like Blowtorch, go and pick it up. If it goes in clearance, take advantage about it. It is really a cool figure. Now let's go into giving this guy a little spin, and I will give you my final thoughts about this figure and also my note out of 10. So here he is, all geared up and ready to go. While you be admiring him while he is going around over in circles, you'll be able to admire him under all different lights and also enjoy him in this way. As you can see, I have to pull him back a little bit. He has a tendency of wanting to burn down his vintage figure. So if you really think about it, this is again a figure that I really disliked when I saw the pictures, when I saw the back of the box and all of that. I was really not into the figure and I did not like it. So again, this is where you have a difference between seen the pictures and having the figure in hand, it is a good example that sometimes you might be surprised about it. So that's why I'm going to be giving this figure a 9 out of 10. I'm not going to give it a 10 out of 10. There's some pretty cool accessories, pretty cool figure build up, and really going into what you would expect for a 25th anniversary. But this one has the same problem as the Footloose. So he's hanging in there. I don't know how. Those pegs do not work. So again, Hasbro, you need to be a bit consistent with what you're doing, and your figures need to have a possibility to use those stands that you give with the other figures, because if they don't work and they don't hold in, that puts it as a bit of a shame. So yeah, that's why I'm going to give it a bit of a lower note. Yeah, maybe could give it, yeah, even a 9.5. Like I said, I don't have much to say about it. Maybe again, like I said, I was biased because I did have the figure and was one of good friends that I was playing with, favorite figure also. So yeah, it does have a bit of a nostalgia effect on me, even if he does not look 100% like the original one, because he's been modernized and they've been putting some extra paint job on this guy. So yeah, definitely a great figure, really loving it. So that's going to be it for my review of G.I. Joe Blowtorch classified figure, number 154 in the line. Did you have it when you were a kid? Do you like this figure? Did you purchase it? Let's start a conversation in the comment section and tell me all about it, and do you agree with this review? So go and check out my Facebook page also. You will have plenty of cool pictures, and I've done some updates, and you will have also the possibility to go and check out Blowtorch, the Action Force card, because I created an album which is called Weapons or Archives. I can't remember exactly, but you will find it. And those are the figures, all my mint in box figures are taken on both sides of the box, so you can enjoy them in high resolution, so it's a bit better than what you would find on yojo.com. So yeah, go and check it out. The links are in the description. Subscribe to the channel, like this video, share this video. That will help a lot and help me out a lot. So don't hesitate, do it. And until then, I hope you have a fantastic day. And of course, I will see you in my next video. Bye.